Hi, Roger Hill with the Velco Weather Hazards Outlook. This is valid the rest of Tuesday through next Monday, October the 20th. Well, currently we have a plume of warm, moist air coming in up the eastern seaboard. A cold front with powerful thunderstorms have been affecting portions of the central and southeastern states. This is now a problem mostly for the Gulf of Mexico. But we do have warmer temperatures advecting northward, and with that, some moisture eventually. This is a cold front out here, and this will be working in toward the region just a little bit west. And the current conditions are we should see another good project day across the state of Vermont with some intermittent or periods of clouds working in through the region, but also warmer temperatures making it into the 70s. Dew point temperatures will be on the climb as well. And looking at that, here's your dew point temperatures basically advecting into the low 60s. And eventually these are going to be fuel for thunderstorms, especially when that cold front begins to move in across the region. And this is the high-resolution rapid refresh model showing that line of thunderstorms associated with a cold front with an upper-level system and surface area of low pressure behind it, feeding this moisture northward up the coast and eventually up the eastern seaboard and into Vermont. This is not going to happen until probably during the day on Thursday. And with this plume of moisture, there could be a few thunderstorms rolling up the eastern seaboard and into the state. And this is a look at the European model. We see that moisture across the southeast United States and then the area of higher pressure pulling away off the eastern seaboard. And what's going to happen is that's going to take off. This is also a very strong hurricane we'll get to mention here in a second. But there's that plume of moisture, and this will encroach upon the region. It looks like just starting to get in here. It looks like Wednesday night and into Thursday, with Thursday being the day we could see some tropical-like rainfall as well as some embedded thunderstorms within a general area of rain streaming up to the north, and also some gradient winds we'll have to watch as well. It looks like those gradient winds are really going to be more of a factor in the highest elevations, where winds could exceed 40 miles per hour. Down in the lower elevations, I think rain will have buffered things, keeping most of those higher winds off the valley floors and off surface. What we can see as that area of low pressure then moves off to the east, the frontal boundary, and then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, cooler air associated with a second passing area of low pressure will then be pulled down from Canada, and this will introduce rather blustery conditions, and perhaps even on Sunday, temperatures held back into the 40s, and also with that northwesterly flow behind it, continuing to pull colder air in aloft, which could also dust up some of our local mountaintops with a little bit of snow shower and maybe some grauples or small hail. And looking at the 850 temperatures, you see the coldest weather up in parts of Canada in this particular area here. This is the upper level center, which has got some modified cool air, but not cold enough to snow. The zero line, 850 millibar hectopascal. Temperatures at freezing approximately here up in Hudson Bay. But watch what happens over time. This system then moves into the region, cools us off, and it begins to pull down a much colder batch of colder air aloft, and this does get into Vermont. It looks like on about Sunday afternoon. It lingers into next Monday and then pulls away, but we could see a little bit more where that came from with another weather system developing to our west. And these are current temperature anomalies. What we have is some above normal temperatures out ahead of that cold front with that warm plume has been advertised very nicely by the European model. It continues to do so, but we start to see some cooler air start to advect into the region. And this is about Friday morning. Then we get into Saturday morning here, with temperatures still remaining above normal for our immediate area. But finally, we do cool down and we go the other way. And it does look like some of the cooler air gets into here on Sunday and Monday, and we're talking about temperatures running about 10 degrees below normal. In terms of rainfall, accumulated rainfall amounts for a 7-day period, this is roughly about 1.5 to 2-inch amounts, with a little bit more across some parts of New England, and again associated with that plume of moisture that will be coming at us later in the week. Temperature anomalies, we're looking at this would be valid through next Sunday night, and we're looking at temperatures running overall above normal, and a pretty good push of warm air coming out of more southern climes. We'll start to see a decrease in that temperature, And then looking a little bit further ahead, this is valid 3 to 7 days out, and this is valid ending on Tuesday, October 22nd, or Tuesday 21st. And it looks like we'll see slightly colder air begin to move into the region with that warmer than normal temperature, maximum temperatures moving out. This is Hurricane Gonzalo. It's no chopped liver. It's 95 knots, packing 110 mile an hour winds, sustained winds, and it's going to be taking a track, taking it toward Bermuda right here, and then eventually maybe clipping the southeastern part of Newfoundland per the European model and many of the computer model trajectories right now. No threat for us, no threats for utilities. And here's the temperature schemes looking at centered on Montpelier today. We're definitely into the 70s, drop back into the upper 50s, low 60s, and then back to around 75 during the day on Wednesday. It looks like the apex of the warmth. And then a warm night followed by a not as quite as warm day on that would be valid Thursday, and this would be the day experiencing quite a bit of rain and potential for some embedded thunderstorms and some gradient winds aloft, and then temperatures then decline thereafter. And we're looking at temperatures basically in the 40s here by the time we get into Sunday and Monday. And the GFS ensemble forecast kind of shows the same thing here with the peak of the business for Thursday, and some models kind of your center line here around 1.2 inches. So a fairly healthy shot of high P watts or precipitable waters that get up around 1.5 to 1.8. And again, some embedded heavier downpours are potentially, especially in southern and eastern sections of the state, nearest the southeastern slopes of the Green Mountains. When that does take place, that could be probably ground zero for Vermont with some heavy rainfall potentially. And then things begin to dry up, and we're back into a little bit more unsettled pattern, but at the same time cooler and without a whole lot of worries. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting.